those graces you need to preserve your union with Christ because he meets you where you're at. And that's a biblical principle. I know there's some people online of, this is the mentality, because the Bible likens the spiritual life to discipline, to training, to militia. And I gave the verses in case people want me to repeat it. 1 Corinthians 9, 24, 27. A runner that runs a race for a perishable wreath. A boxer, that's training, boxing. 1 Timothy 4:8, 2 Timothy 2:3-5. Militia. He uses those examples to show you that the spiritual life requires spiritual training, spiritual discipline, spiritual combat, but you need spiritual nourishment. That's where the sacraments come in. If you don't know what that church has been like historically and what it taught, or you're not convinced, but you still follow Christ and follow the scriptures in some mysterious way known to God. God knows, we don't. He is still able to communicate those graces you need to preserve your union with Christ because he meets you where you're at. And that's a biblical principle. I know there's some people online of, it's in the Bible. He meets you where you're at. So again, for example, Romans 4:15, Romans 5:13 says, if there is no law, there is no sin, and sin is not imputed to someone when there is no law. Understand the principle. If you do not have the law of God, you're unaware of it, though you may do something sinful, because you don't know, God doesn't count it against you. So that's the principle right there. So if that principle is true, and it's all throughout Scripture, that means God will take your circumstances into consideration. But where does it become dangerous? The more God reveals to you, the more you get convicted. But the more you double down, that's when you're now in hot water.
Okay.